So nobody felt financially insecure from birth on. They had a modicum of financial freedom from birth, a modicum of financial security from birth. Why am I so evil and radical? I don't believe that. I'll stand by. I'm 100% fine with standing before God with my beliefs. Are you? Or do you think you're smarter than God? You're going to teach God a thing or two? So this business about a universal basic income, just think of it as an extension of Social Security. Okay, the work's still going to get done. Do you understand how many people are going to be jonesing for work if all of a sudden there's vast layoffs or the hours get cut back dramatically? See, I'm not a threat to anybody. Neither is God or Jesus or any other good, decent human being. Okay, we want everybody to be okay, at least okay. And from there, who cares if somebody wants a palace, a castle, whatever. Okay, but in the meantime, we just want everybody to be okay. Okay, with a modicum of creature comforts. Is that asking so much? Am I really such a wild-eyed radical to ask that? I'm actually a fiscal conservative. I want you to have a lower cost of living, lower taxes, all that stuff. So this business about supply and demand is something you got to understand. Progress dictates that there's one direction your currency is supposed to go, up in worth. If we as a civilized society are making an iota of progress, it gets easier and easier to produce, to manufacture all the things we want and need. So what we end up with is an abundance, a superfluity, excess. Okay, there's just too much. Everything becomes dirt cheap. All our cost of living becomes like a nominal fee. So it's easy. If you want more stuff, I can't get enough stuff, you're insatiable. Okay, fine. Your heart is filled with greed and avarice. Nobody would care. If everybody can have the same, we're all individuals. Not everybody wants to drive a freaking Ferrari. Or you hear these $2 million vehicles some of these rappers are driving. Who cares? I give a crap. I saw one there. What? That's a freaking ugly vehicle. I wouldn't want that piece of crap. Give me a 2019 Impala. You want a nice car? I mean, hey, what the hell? A new Corvette maybe. Okay, but they can stamp these things out like pancakes, just like the houses and everything else we want. Rolex watches, my friends. Whatever you want. Designer jeans. Designer handbags. No, the allure for elitist scum-thinking psychos is that they got to have something you can't have. That's the only thing that makes it special, if it's exclusive and they're privileged. Do you understand? That's what gives it value in their mind. So they're sick and twisted. So you understand a modicum of supply and demand capitalism. What is free market? I mean, the '08 bailout was the antithesis of true capitalism. That you wouldn't do that. You'd do the opposite. You'd give them a jagged crew cut. I'm talking about a haircut for what they did. And this wasn't through incompetence and stupidity, this need for this bailout of '08. This was deliberative. These guys really gambled. Do you understand? And so many of these people that so many just establishmentarian minions, okay, that aren't really that critical mass that was needed to get that bailout pushed through. What they needed to get that bailout pushed through was those senators and Congress people to sign off on this, to rubber stamp what the Federal Reserve said. Hey, you want to borrow more trillions? That's fine. And if you don't, I mean, what they did, they made a threat. You understand what's going to happen if you don't borrow more money? I mean, this is terrible. These people, these banksters, they're too big to fail. They're too big to jail. America's gone. I mean, they essentially came out of the closet and told us that. It's over. The gig is done. The jig is up. Do you understand what they told us? That's it. America's cooked, dude. It's over. Give it up. So they've induced wanton homelessness. Homelessness, yes, but hopelessness. They've snatched the American dream of prosperity for the average everyday person. They're evil. They're enemies of God. They're enemies of humanity. They're enemies of the American dream. They're enemies. Do you understand? For all intents and purposes, you want to know where Satan's throne is? There it is. It's in Washington, D.C. It's with the Federal Reserve. That's it, man. And we're in trouble. And on a grassroots level, all you can do is call your landlord, say, look, I need a pay decrease. What you've done, you've made your rent dollars go up. You said you can't just, increase. You can't work it out that way to where everything benefits your side of the ledger and hurts me. Okay, how long can that go on? Indefinitely? Forever? Perpetually? Okay, where does the buck stop? You see what's happened with minimum wage. You say, oh, well, minimum wage has gone way up. Look at it now. I mean, you're $15 an hour in California. What is it? So $1 an hour, what are you talking about? No, I'm saying let's look at the math. There's a thing called the Consumer Price Index, the CPI, that you can look and you can calculate it yourself. Do your own math. All I know is that the minimum wage has fallen way below the cost of living, okay? That in order to have the equivalent, the commensurate, the proportional buying power, that $1 an hour in the early 60s, minimum wage would need to be around 30, 40, depending on the community. See, that's why I say this is so divisive. This not maintaining a federal minimum wage. It's divided the states and the communities. In San Francisco, you'd need well over $80 an hour. 8 hours a week, my friend. 40 hours a week, 8 hours a day. Devoting your life to a job, and you can't afford to be a homeowner in San Francisco. You could if they had given commensurate cost of living adjustments over the years, 1 year at a time. And employers can bitch and moan 1 year at a time and say, I don't like it. Stop doing it. Let's get to the root of the problem. What's causing me to need to pay my employer? Where's the progress? Who's manipulating markets? Who's colluding? Who's fixing and rigging prices? And what's their motivation? What's their incentive? Theft. That's how they steal. They don't care that they dilute the currency. Remember, as long as they get way more, so they end up with more when they shuffle it up and they create the chaos and the confusion, the fuzzy math, they end up with way more on their side of the ledger. So that's all I know you can do. Call your mortgage holder. Tell everybody. It's going to be good. You understand? Then the people that have the goods and services to offer, they can lower their cost for their services and goods. They would love to. Love to charge less. But they can't when they see all the writings on the wall. My cost of living keeps going up. No, I don't need a pay decrease. I need a pay increase. How far can this thing go? Here in California, I got this 1977 GMC van. The registration was down about $70 a year on that. You know what happened recently? It's $120 now. What percent increase is that? About 80% increase overnight? Does that benefit me, diluting my money further? It goes in somebody's pocket. It goes on somebody's side of the ledger, just like the cigarette tax. Whose pockets is it going in? They say, oh, well, I'm such a good saint. I'm just anti-tobacco. A substance that's been around for thousands of years, practically since the dawn of creation, and suddenly they're going to get everybody to stop. That's the only answer is stop. They don't even do that with alcohol. They don't tell people, oh, the only answer is you've got to stop. No, you don't even see any commercials like that. No, it's like you got to have some self-control, moderate it, because a little drinking is healthy, they'll tell you, right? And how many other examples are there of the same madness? Our whole entire world system, our so-called reality, is rife with madness, up one side and down the other. People are so screwed up, man. The small-minded, automaton nature of so many people makes me livid and sad at the same time. I'm so angry at the people that have done this to us, that have just brought this on, fostered it. I'm sick to my stomach. The evil that has just taken over my land, my cherished, beloved nation. What we've done, and by extension, the rest of the world, we've sucked into this cesspool of madness. Yeah, this business about acting, I think it's a good idea, because what you're really trying to achieve here is to impress something upon somebody. It's like my daughters. When I was raised, I was a single dad. Sometimes you just got to pretend. You just got, I ever catch you doing that again? It's going to be hell to pay. I never talked to them because I didn't need to. But that's the gist of it. I mean, when my kid's 12, 13 years old, one daughter especially, she was just boy crazy from a very young age. But can you imagine I have to run out of the house chasing my daughter because she's got to go somewhere, got to see some guy probably, and I got to carry my daughter. The chance of some neighbor calling the cops saying, hey, what the hell's going on, abducting his kid. But most of my neighbors, they knew, hey, I was a single dad. They knew what was going on. I'm trying to protect my daughter. But you do what you have to do to protect people. And we